16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
Get Joe Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Columns free.
Genesis does.
What Nintendo don't.
Buy a 16-bit Genesis system between now and October 31st and get an extra.
John here, and in today's video we're going to be unboxing the Sega Genesis Mini. Now, I may be a little late on this, but I don't care. This is my channel and I'm gonna do what I want. So yeah, let's just dive right in. Alright, so let's take a look at the box. Of course, this is the front. Miniature Sega Genesis replica, ready to plug and play. Includes 40 legendary games plus 2 bonus titles. That's a good thing to mention. This thing, out of the box, of course I'm going to mod this at some point, comes with more games than the SNES Classic, the NES Classic, and even the PlayStation Classic, which each have 20 games. Sega threw 42 games on this thing, which, good guy Sega. I guess you could say Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Anyway, obviously includes Sonic the Hedgehog just like the original Genesis. Yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the box. Here we've got, that legal copyright information, copyright all the games and their publishers and developers. Sega HDMI logo, UPC here. And then the side's pretty much self-explanatory. Sega Genesis, and this one shows what the package includes. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. My other camera died. Please don't kill me. But yeah, Sega Genesis Mini, of course. And it says here this package includes the console itself, 2 wired control pads, a USB power adapter, power cable, HDMI cable, and then it says the same thing in French and Italian, I assume? Yeah, French and Italian. And then it has some more legal info down here, like caution, modding, or changing it is not allowed, blah blah. Yeah, shut up. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing open. Alright, without any further ado, let's get this thing open. This, unlike that Mario Kart one that you guys should totally watch, I'm trying to keep the package as neat as possible. I am a collector, but I think there was only one piece of tape here, but I should open it from the top. So let's go ahead and do that. I probably won't need my knife for this, actually. So, standard slit here. And then, immediately the power adapter fell out. I don't need this right now. I'm not plugging it in right this second. Let me go ahead and attack this, because these are probably just cables. Yeah, we've got the power adapter, which seems pretty long, actually. It's folded over quite a few times. This would be the HDMI cable. And then the manual in all of its 90s, early 2000s glory. I don't really need to read this. It's a plug-and-play console. Oh, I failed to show you guys the back before, by the way. These are all the games that are included, but you probably already know that if you're watching this video. You can pause here if you want to see it. I'm going to go ahead and finish unboxing. And then over here, of course, obviously, we've got the controllers. I wonder if these are... I think these are not the 6-button variant. They take these! Why? Oh, cool, they're standard USB. So just like the PlayStation Classic. Ha, yes. Standard 3-button, but it feels great to hold a brand new Genesis controller. So, yeah, if you played a Genesis, you know what you're looking at, so got the second one here. I guess I'll just leave it in there for now. But this, the piece de resistance, excuse my French. Oh, that inner box just comes out. Well, whatever. This bad boy is what we were waiting for. And here's the actual Genesis. This thing is so small and cute, as I'm sure you assumed. It's got a plastic thing here. Is that just to keep the logo fresh, or does the cartridge thing happen to open just for the kicks? Oh wow, look! It actually opens. that's kind of cute. Imagine if they made like little mini add-on cartridges. Wow, they actually could have taken advantage of that. So over here you've got the USB ports for the controller. It's got the headphone jack, which is obviously not actually usable. And all of these buttons and switches here are physical, so this reset button does actually work. On-off switch, of course, and then a volume slider, which I don't know if it does anything. I won't know until I plug it in. And then the on light. Take a look at the back. You have the HDMI out and the DC in for the micro USB. So right off the bat, one thing that really annoys me is I actually appreciate that this is facing the correct orientation, but the micro USB is not. I'm sure it was for design uniformity so that they'd look the same, but that really bothers me. But it is what it is. I didn't design this, so who am I to complain? Taking a look at the bottom here, does this actually come off like it used to on the original Genesis? It definitely moves. It does come off. It doesn't lead to anywhere, but it definitely comes off, so they really tried their best to make this feel like an original Mega Drive or Genesis, depending on where you are in the world. And then, yeah, there you go. It's pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and take a look at this side by side with the other mini consoles that I currently own. One thing though that I should have mentioned while feeling this up and whatnot, honestly, it feels kind of, it feels durable, but like just look at the little separator lines here, like it was just pushed together. It feels kind of cheap in the hand, but honestly, I guess we'll have to plug it in and see. But this is definitely better than one of those flashback consoles, so I'm not complaining, you know? So there it is side by side with the Super Nintendo Classic. Both 16-bit consoles that were competing at the time. Not really a solid way to compare them, but for size's sake, they're pretty much exactly the same. All of these classic consoles are just about the same, little miniature size. But I don't really have a lot of room to show them all to you, so that stinks. So I do have all 4 consoles here. We're in the kitchen now. I didn't have enough room on my desk. We've got the NES Classic, Sega Genesis Mini, Super Nintendo Classic, and the PlayStation Classic. All 4 of these are pretty comparable in size. The Genesis isn't really too drastic of a difference. In terms of the overall dimensions for all the devices, again, this one is the lightest one. Even the PlayStation Classic feels a bit heavier than the Genesis Mini. The biggest thing, again, I feel like this, if this were to drop a few times, this may break on you. I'm not too sure, but I do like that they did have this open. I think they were listening to people who on these other systems were basically asking for people to be able to just have a flap there just for nostalgia purposes. But at the end of the day, all these devices cannot replicate the true majesty of their original counterparts. These devices are very solid, especially if you're not a big gamer and you're just somebody who wants to just relive your classic adventures from your childhood or your teenage years, or just want to get into gaming. These are excellent devices to start with. And of course, their easy modability makes them priceless in terms of being able to play the entire library of games on these devices as well. And then here I've got the Genesis Mini right in front of its larger brother, the original Genesis. So for those of you who haven't seen the original Genesis or Mega Drive, if you're in the UK and other territories, I believe the UK, please correct me if I'm wrong. This is the actual Genesis. As you can see, it does have the cartridge port there. And then there is that port that I mentioned here. Can't get it open. I don't know what this is for. Honestly speaking, I'm not a big Genesis fan. I don't know a whole lot about the Genesis. I believe this is either for service or expansion, or maybe it was for like one of the accessories actually, because I know they did so much with the Genesis. There was the CD thing, the 32X, etc. So the Genesis honestly was really good, and that's part of why I bought the Genesis Mini. I bought it so that I could actually get to know the Genesis a bit better. I did play one a bit growing up, but all I really played was a lot of first-party titles, a lot of the more popular ones. I haven't really gotten to play a lot of the other stuff from the 16-bit generation. So that, in addition with the Super Nintendo Classic, will be helping me learn the 16-bit era library quite a bit before I get into other consoles like TurboGrafx and whatnot. But for now, this is a great start. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, to be honest with you. I just wanted to do a quick little unboxing and let you guys see the whole device. You know, I'm not going to set it up and whatnot, because I feel like that would waste a lot of you guys' time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely going to enjoy this. Let me know in the comments below if you're a fan of these remade retro consoles from the actual, you know, developers and publishers and companies and whatnot. I certainly am a big fan of these. I really do hope that they come out with an N64 Mini, because, you know, obvious reasons. But otherwise, yeah, leave a like if you liked the video. If not, you know what to do. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching to the end. So I have a little special bit for you. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this. It's nothing too crazy, but I figured you guys might like this. Look at that. Wedding Mario from Super Mario Odyssey. I got him at Walgreens for like $5. I love collecting these World of Nintendo figures, especially the Mario ones, which you would know if you were following my Instagram. But yeah, I just thought you guys might like that. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you guys next time.